What's up, guys? Today we got another very special video in which we are going to be talking about the topic of why we are not able to attract money and what we can do and steps we can take to fix it and to be able to attract not only just money, but whatever it is that you want in life. Use this method only for positive things. This can be used for stuff that's negative too, but your karma will get you. That's inevitable. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to go over why you cannot attract money. So you aren't using the laws of the universe properly. What I recommend you guys do is you pick up this book right here. It's called The 12 Laws of the Universe, written by, I'm going to butcher his name, Manhardeep Singh. It's a great book. So what it does is it's super simple. It's a very small book. It just goes over the guidelines of all the laws of the universe. And essentially what that means is you need to be able to work with every single one of the laws in unison with one another. So you can't just use the law of attraction without, for say, using the law of taking action. So taking correct steps in order to get to what you're trying to attract. For instance, if there's a girl that you're trying to attract and, you know, you're in a meditation, you're thinking of her, you're feeling the feelings of how it would be if you were talking to her, etc. You need to actually go and talk to her and then take the steps that you will take in order to bring what you are attracting closer and into your life. So that's just an example, but this is a great book that you guys should all pick up. So the 12 laws work in unison with each other. If you don't fully understand each law and how it works, then you will keep hitting your head on a brick wall wondering why nothing is changing. The law of attraction is extremely important, but so are the other 11 laws, which is what we were just talking about. Common mistakes. The absolute most common mistake that will negate any and everything that you desire is negative emotions. So what I mean by this is if you will go back to the example of the girl, if at all you feel like you won't be able to do it, or you feel fear or guilt or any negative emotion that lowers your vibration and doesn't allow you to get on that attractive state to where you're able to just instantaneously get whatever you want and take the steps to get whatever you want, then that will inevitably dim your chances and take you further away from what you're trying to attract. Thought energy mixed with emotions translates thought into the physical realm. If you are constantly thinking about bad things and have intense negative emotion behind them, that will happen. For instance, if you have someone that's sick around you and you get super scared of getting sick and you keep thinking about that, and inevitably you get sick. There's been many times where people have been very sick around me where I'm super positive. I feel like I keep telling myself I feel so happy and healthy. I feel so happy and healthy that I never get sick. And this is something that's happened throughout many people in my life that I talk to regarding this same topic, which is pretty immense. If you've ever tried it and it works, you'll understand what I mean, and you'll understand that everything that I'm talking about is very real and it's very profound. Same thing goes for if you think of something and pour extremely positive emotions towards it, like excitement, joy, etc. So let's say you're attracting a girl, you're feeling the positive emotions of how it feels to be with her, to go on a date, etc. You're feeling super excited, you're feeling joy, you're feeling happy, you're feeling accomplished, right? So that will bring it closer to you as well. Not following certain rules and or steps in regards to training your subconscious mind. So this is a huge one that this is the reason that most people give up, is because they try it once, they try it twice, they either forget about it, they say it doesn't work, or they're not even doing the correct steps in order to train your subconscious mind. If you're trying to train your subconscious mind in order to have what you want, and in order to be able to tell your subconscious mind something and it attracts into your reality, then you have to do it through repetition. And that's also with discipline as well. You are not taking action. So one of the most important laws in the law is the laws of taking action. You can do all the mental work you want, but it will only start to appear in your day-to-day life when you take action. This is extremely important with the law of attraction. Extremely, extremely important. You can meditate all you want. You can feel those emotions. And if you want to translate that thought energy into your physical reality, then you must take the correct steps in order to get to where you would like to be. The thought and emotion mixed with each other is the first step. Taking the action towards that is the next step. And that's how you'll create your reality. In order to attract the amount of money that you desire, you need to have set plans and a set dollar amount and a set time frame and actually do what it takes to get there. So this is what Bob Proctor talks about by the power of his pen. He can take a pen and write down on a piece of paper exactly what it is, at what time, and when he wants it, and it inevitably happens. So you just have to keep reading it over and over. And this is one of the most important things, is repetition. I cannot stress that enough. If you aren't seeing results today, if you aren't seeing results tomorrow, if you aren't seeing results next week, the best thing that I like to compare this to is the gym. If you're constantly in the gym, you're inevitably going to see results. If you go to the gym once, nothing's going to happen. So training your mind is the exact same thing like training your body. God and the universe favors those who are quick thinkers and can start and follow through on tasks. If you need to be disciplined enough to accomplish the plan that you have set for yourself. This is the best piece of advice that I can give. There is nothing else that I could teach you that will help you if you don't focus on this right here. This is the most important thing that you can possibly do. God in the universe favors those who are quick thinkers, can start and follow through on tasks. You need to be disciplined enough to accomplish the plan that you have set for yourself. Piggybacking on this, you need to know what you want. You need to have a plan in order to get what you want. Study this, imply that on your life, and you will see great change. In order to become rich, you must kill the old version of yourself. That seems pretty morbid, but what that means is you must let go and sacrifice in order to get what you want. The friends around you that don't line up with the life you desire are wasting your time, and even worse, they will have negative opinions on what you are doing because they aren't taking steps to get there either. What I mean by this is, if you want to get to a certain place in life and the people around you aren't already there, they're going to say things and contradict whatever you're doing in order to take steps to get there. What I mean is, if your friends are all out going drinking, etc., and you want to stay in and focus on whatever your business or whatever you're doing you want to read, they're obviously going to have negative opinions towards what you're doing. And they're going to say, oh, you're too good for us, whatever. Those friends, if they don't support you in what you're trying to do, will inevitably, it's like a rubber band. Like you keep trying to go out, and then your friends will snap you back in. You need to let go of the rubber band. And if that means stopping talking to them and taking a different path in life, if your goals mean enough to you, then that's a step that you'll take. Your environment is so closely related to your success and growth. In order to grow and be successful, you need to leave the comfort of your environment and go to a place of insecurity and unstableness. Successful people work well under pressure. So you can take this you can take this all the way to the extreme of moving out and putting yourself in a place of, extreme pressure and extreme anxiety or whatever. Or you can use this as, taking steps to make yourself a little bit insecure and unstable, like buying a car that, makes you have to work harder and makes you use that law where you have to take action. This is a thing that so many successful people do. They leave whatever, their hometown, or they buy something that's a little out of their price range that makes them work harder and gives them the initiative and the constant motivation to be disciplined. If you truly want it, there's no failure. So the methods that I've described and the topics that I talk about are 100% real and have never failed for anyone. The only time this method fails is when the person doesn't follow everything perfectly, or when they don't understand how the universal laws affect or apply to themselves. Another way that people don't reach the place they desire is when they quit and get discouraged. God, the universe, and your mind will test you to see if you are capable of receiving the life that you say you desire. You must take steps to strengthen your mind to prevail the temporary failures in order to get the victory you crave. Long story short, you need to understand these laws. I have no affiliation with this book whatsoever. I think it's a great book. There's so many other books in my collection over there that I could recommend to you guys as well. But regarding this topic of this video, you guys need to know how the universe works if you are trying to use the laws. You can't just use the law of attraction. I know that's the most popular law that there is, but there's so many other laws in here that you need to study, that you need to implement into your life if you're trying to get where you want and you're trying to shift your paradigm. That's a topic of another video. That's a big thing that Bob Proctor talked about. He talked about shifting your paradigm, impressing your subconscious mind, using your conscious mind to say yes or no to any negative or positive things that you implement into your subconscious mind, and training your subconscious mind through repetition. I know I talk a lot during my YouTube videos, but the best thing that I could say is rewatch these videos. If you go on, thought loops whenever you're watching the video and I talk about something that, might spike something in your mind. So rewatch these videos, watch my other videos, pick up this book. It's super cheap. And this will inevitably, reading this book, understanding the laws, will allow you to create this guide for yourself that it's impossible to fail. Putting yourself in an environment where it's impossible to fail is something that's so important for reaching your goals. You might have to say no a couple times. You might have to sacrifice some time, drinking or whatever. If you're in college and you want to reach your goals, you might need to you have to rethink your goals. It's all about what you want to do. And if you're clicking on this video, my assumption is that you want to change your life and you want more money and you want success. Listen to what I'm saying, rewatch my videos. I believe in all of you guys. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to respond to them. So see you guys in the next one.